All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're talking about the very heart of creating products and services that people actually love. We're going to unpack the first and, probably the most important stage of design thinking, empathy. Seriously, it's the foundation for everything that comes next.
So, think about it for a second. What's the secret sauce behind that one app on your phone you use constantly, or that tool that just feels like it was made for you? It's not just fancy tech or a cool design. The real secret? It's a deep, genuine understanding of the person who's using it. It all comes down to empathy.
Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. To really get this, we have to start with the goal. I mean, what are we even trying to do in this first stage? Well, the whole point is to achieve genuine empathy.
Before anyone even thinks about a feature or design, there's this one fundamental mission. And it's super simple: to truly, deeply understand the user. This isn't about us guessing what they want or just assuming we know their problems. Nope. It's about stepping into their world and really seeing it from their point of view. So when we say empathy here, what do we really mean? Well, think of it as a two-part deal. First, you've got to perceive the feelings of a user. Are they getting frustrated? Are they happy, anxious? But the second part is the real game changer. It's about understanding the motivations behind what they're doing. It's the difference between just seeing someone struggle to open a jar and understanding that their frustration is really about their desire to be independent. See the difference? That's the level we're aiming for.
Right, so if the goal is this genuine empathy, the next question is pretty obvious. How do we do it? What's the method? And the answer is something called active observation.
Here's a great way to think about it. Your job is to become a detective. You're not just sitting back and watching. Oh no, you are actively on the hunt for clues. You're looking at their environment, how they behave, how they interact with things, all to piece together the complete story of their experience.
And this detective work, it really breaks down into 3 key steps. First up, you observe and document. This means you're writing everything down, taking pictures, whatever it takes to capture what's really going on. Then step 2 is to capture perspectives. This is so important because it's about looking beyond just the user. You might talk to their coworkers, look at their workspace, just get the full context from as many angles as possible. And finally, you summarize your findings. You pull it all together. And the real gold here is in the unexpected stuff, those weird little workarounds people invent. That is often where the best ideas are hiding.
So you've put on your detective hat, you've gathered all your clues, now what? Well, this brings us to the whole point of the exercise, the outcome. How do we turn all this raw information into something we can actually use, into what we call actionable insight? You start by sorting your clues into 2 main buckets, pains and gains. On one side, you have the pains. These are the problems, the frustrations, the things that are just making their life harder. On the other side, you have the gains. These are the opportunities, the hopes, the aspirations. What would make things amazing for them? Now, by digging into these pains and gains, you're trying to figure out 3 key things. You're pinpointing their real problems, the pains. You're identifying the potential benefits, the gains. And third, you're uncovering their jobs to be done. This is such a powerful idea. It's about figuring out what the user is fundamentally trying to accomplish. Like, nobody buys a 1/4-inch drill because they want a drill. They buy it because they want a 1/4-inch hole. Understanding that core job changes everything. And in the end, all of this work, the pains, the gains, the jobs to be done, it doesn't just stay on a whiteboard. It all comes together to create a persona. This is basically a detailed, fictional character that represents your user, and this persona becomes your North Star for the rest of the project. It makes sure you're always building for a real person with real needs. So you see, everything we build, everything we design, it all starts with a very simple, very human question. It starts with a person, not a product. And that kind of leaves a challenge for all of us, right? As you go through your own work, whose perspective are you going to seek out first?